I was over at his place one night and we were like cuddling, watching a movie. And then we were going somewhere up or downstairs. I don't remember where we were going, but up or downstairs. And as we were like walking on these flights of stairs, he was like, me and my ex did it all over these stairs.
What the? Yeah, that's a bad.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Why would you tell me that?
Do you want me to I was speechless. I didn't say anything. I was like,
yeah.
Cool. Do you remember that childhood rhyme that goes, first comes love, then comes marriage? I think they're missing a step.
What step?
Begins with an F. Flirting. Get your mind out of the gutter. Flirting. They're missing flirting.
That's true. I feel like flirting actually is like the gateway between becoming friends to something non-platonic. And I think it's an art form. There's a lot of ways one can go about this. And it's like kind of like a combination of a lot of moves. It could be charisma. It could be body language. It could be EQ. It could be a lot of things. And I feel like each combination will work for different people.
Yeah, I like that you broke down the different combinations. So this is actually something I am personally working on for 2024. I want to learn how to flirt better.
That's a good goal.
Yeah, right? I'm trying. And it was through the suggestion of a matchmaker I've been talking to recently. So the purpose of this episode is for us to talk about how to improve flirting, right? So if that's something you're looking for as well, hopefully you'll enjoy this. And I guess to get there, we first have to figure out like what makes a good flirt and all of those things. So we'll get into all the details.
Okay. Well, I feel like we all know what flirting is, but I am curious, like, what is your definition of flirting?
Okay. So my definition of flirting is a playful interaction that's mostly used to get a romantic result. So
Did you dictionary that?
To be honest, when I keep thinking about flirting, the word play always comes to my head.
That was actually the first word for mine as well. And I got caught up. I could see Mel was like for a romantic like outcome, because that was what I was thinking too. I'm like, is it with the intention that you want to like be romantically involved with someone? Because sometimes they say that you can, sometimes, you could just like flirt for the sake of flirting, right? But my definition would be to engage in like playful behavior, for the sake of like you have like a romantic goal in mind. That's what I would think. I don't know.
I would echo that exactly. I think at the core of flirting, it's fun, it's playful, and whether it's like a subtle look or a gaze or a soft touch or like, I don't know, saying something flirty, it's always fun. It's fun at its core with the intention of like having a more romantic, development with this person later on. So maybe not romantic. I do think it's for romantic, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what is it for?
But here's the thing. I think what's interesting is we said play, but you can also flirt in a very like sensual, serious way, right?
With the intent of romance.
Yeah. But then it's not playful. It's like sensual.
Oh, okay.
Right? So those are different. Like it could be playful. It could be something different. And then is like
if you're real X-rated real fast.
Yeah. Or just like really getting emotionally intimate really quickly. And could be.
Yeah. And I think we're going to dive into the different types of flirting later in this episode. So if you're like, I'm not playful, well, there's other ways you also flirt. So speaking of flirting with this whole episode, do you remember your first like flirting experience or situation?
Yeah. Sure, I can go first. So my first memory of being flirted with goes back to kindergarten. I was like, 5 years old, so young. Might have already said the story on the podcast, but I will reshare it again. So this was after lunch one day. And after you finish your lunch, you're supposed to like go sit around in a circle, crisscross applesauce, just wait there until your teacher starts the lesson. And I remember, and it's so weird because like I don't have a lot of memories from kindergarten, but I do remember this one. So I remember sitting down like with space around me because I don't know, I was probably gassy or something. Like I was full and uncomfortable. I'm like, I don't want to sit next to anyone or talk to anyone. So I sat there. And then this boy like runs up and sits down next to me. And I'm like, immediately, I remember I didn't talk to him. I didn't ask him why. I didn't say hi. I just got up and I walked across the circle to the other side and I sat down. Because I was like, I don't...
Get away from me.
I want my space.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you want your space too. So then I sat down and then he got up and he like
followed
me across the circle and sat down next to me again. And then I was like, okay, I think this is a game.
Okay.
So I got up and I went to the other side, and it starts getting more crowded because people are finishing up their lunch. And I like literally squeeze in between these two people. And he comes across and squishes this tiny little bum like in between and like shoves the other person over to sit next to me. And then I was like, what is this wild behavior? What is going on here? So then I continuously do this until the teacher sees what's happening. And he was like, all right, just sit down. So then we sat down, and I remember thinking to myself, like, that was weird. But I kind of liked it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know, like I was like, oh, this is like
fun.
And you're being chased and there's a potential of someone liking you. So that was my first experience of being flirted with. I thought it was weird, but I kind of liked it.
How about you? Do you remember you flirting with someone?
I don't remember a specific incident of flirting with someone, but I will say that the feeling of flirting with someone definitely came up during recess and tag. Like when you're chasing boys because you got to tag them. I just remember the feeling of the adrenaline of wanting to run extra fast so that I could catch them, you know? One, to show off like athletic abilities, and then two, to like touch them. So that's probably like my first memory of wanting to flirt with someone else.
That is very cute.
To chase down boys and catch them.
Hello, everyone. Towards the end of 2023, I knew changes were in store for the new year. So as a refresher, I just came back from my trip to Asia with a lot of reality checks about my life. And in a few months, I'm taking another step in my relationship. I'm officially moving in with my boyfriend, Ray. Huge step. With all these upcoming changes, I wanted to be mentally prepared and have the right support. So I started looking for a therapist at the end of last year. Of course, I found the perfect one on BetterHelp, which is a sponsor of today's video. I've been at BetterHelp for the last 4 years. I did take a year off, but found a great therapist right away. However, as a therapist you're first matched with doesn't feel like the right fit, which can be common with starting therapy. You can easily switch to a new therapist at no additional cost without stressing about insurance, who's in your network, or anything like that. Personally, for me, I love my therapist because she is so thoughtful and has this like motherly understanding that really works for me. She also gives me great material to read and worksheets to complete. I mentioned before how I do love homework when it comes to therapy because it feels like I'm actually working towards my goal. I plan on sticking with therapy this year and hoping to see a lot of personal growth. If you're looking for some mental support like me, please consider BetterHelp. Click the link in the description or visit betterhelp.com/AsianBossGirl for 10% off your first month. So when I think about flirting, I feel like I've been doing it since preschool.
I could see a little preschool now walking around.
3 years old?
3 years.
I think I don't know what it was. So when you're telling your story, part of me felt like, oh shoot, I was that boy.
Oh, like, you were going up and like sitting next to all these little,
I remember in preschool, there was this boy named Zachary, and I always wanted to like play with him, and I would follow him just to play. And I kept thinking to myself, like, I just want to play with this boy, and I think he's really cute. And that's all I remember. I was like, just that memory. So in second grade, I had a crush on this guy. He was in my class. We're still friends to this day. But anyways, we changed class. In third grade, we were in different classrooms. And so the only time I got to see him was during recess. And so I remember at the time was also when I started wearing training bras. And I don't know what it was, but I knew like wearing a training bra was like a sign that I'm a woman. I'm like,
oh, you're like mature.
I'm mature.
And sexy, yeah.
And we're on the playground or the jungle gym. I remember I go up to him, I was like, hey, I'm wearing a training bra now. Or I said something like showing him my strap. I had no tits. Okay. Still don't. And I remember doing that, and I'm just like, and he was like, okay, cool. But part of me was like, my intention with that was to flirt, to show that I am this person.
Go forward.
Yeah. So those are my early like memories of flirting. Preschool and third grade.
And recess. It's all during recess.
I know.
Yeah. During like the downtime.
I know. When the teachers are just like walking around, like just like blowing the whistle. Yeah. But yeah, that was fine. How about you, Jay?
I think when I was like in first grade, I remember I would sit there and I would like look at guys and I would just like blow them little kisses. So it's like very discreet, but they didn't see
that, girl. That's not discreet at all.
Wait, let me see. Because they weren't looking at me. It was when they weren't looking, I'd be like looking at them and I. So it's kind of
it's like when their head is turned, you're like,
like a little kiss
when they weren't looking.
Because I wasn't,
I see.
Here's what I think when I was younger, because I wasn't thinking about getting their attention. So this isn't really flirting. This is just the first like understanding I like someone.
Oh, that's
and
cute.
then kind of like, okay. So So that was a bit of a tangent.
I'm sure someone else saw you.
I'm probably, yeah, if you go back to little Janet camera in the corner, like, not like that.
Or they caught it.
Oh, intercepted.
Yeah. So that would probably be, it's like a very amateur kind of like one way that I started like understanding my emotions, right?
That's actually very cute.
When was that, first grade?
I think that was like kindergarten, first grade.
Oh, wow.
But the first time I actually remember having an interaction with someone was in third grade. And it was like at the, like when we would have PE, there was this one kid who was like super fast and like really, really athletic, really good. I was not. I was like the super slow, like kind of like shy, and I don't like to like, and I like my glasses on. And he would always freaking tag me, like whenever we placed like sports.
That was me.
Yeah, and I was like, don't. I think he was trying to like interact with me, and then I would get so upset because I'm like, now I have to like, you're like putting the focus on me and like getting me engaged in the sport. And then he would like pull my hair, and then there was like every day at the end of class, we would put like our chairs up on the tables. You put your backpack on, you're getting ready to go out to the buses. And I remember there was like this period of time where you would always come to my table and be like, hey, do you like anyone? And I was like, what do you mean? And he's like, do you like anyone? And I was like, no, like what a weird question. And then he just kept doing that like every day.
He's like, do you like me?
Yeah. So that was my first like, I think being interacted with in that way. So we've shared some of our first interactions with flirting. So here's the thing. When it comes to flirting, it's hard to be the person trying to do the flirting, but it can also be really hard to be the person on the receiving end to know, like, am I being flirted with? Like, is like my radar a little off? Is that what they're really trying to do? Or someone might do something and you think they're flirting and it's like absolutely not what they were intending, right? If she wants me to like fix her shirt, I don't know,
I'm pretty obvious.
So based on some research we did, we're not alone in sometimes not knowing if someone is flirting with you or not flirting with you. So there was an experiment that they did on college students at the University of Kansas in 2014. They basically brought in 100 people. So that's like 50 pairs of people. They put each of these 50 couples into a room by themselves, gave them about 10 to 12 minutes and just said like, interact. Afterwards, they talked to each of these couples or each of the people individually. So it's 100 different people and asked them, hey, like, were you trying to flirt or was someone trying to flirt with you? And apparently about almost like 20% of the women were wrong and about 40% of the men were wrong. So that's a pretty high like failure rate, I guess. It's like that, if you put some people together, it's not always clear if someone is like, is actively being flirted with or not. And I also thought that was interesting that like women pick up on it less clearly than men do.
Wait, I thought 20% versus 40.
20% of women were able to tell if their partner had, or if the person had flirted with them.
That's it?
Yeah. So it means that like 80% of the women could not tell if they were being flirted with. And 60% of the men could not tell if they were being flirted.
Oh, wow. That's like, wow.
Yeah.
Maybe just more men think they're being flirted with.
Maybe.
So they just say yes.
Actually,
maybe because
based on like experience, yeah.
That's true.
Oh, wow.
So why is it so hard to tell if someone's being flirted with? Well, the guy that initiated the study, Jeffrey Hall, said that he thinks it's because in popular culture, like when we watch movies and TV shows, usually flirting is communicated in a very like direct and seductive way, right? So it's like hair flipping, it's like coy smiling, lip licking, that kind of a thing, which isn't really
just like that.
It's been a while, y'all. It's been a while.
But the thing is, like he said, that's not really reflective of a lot of the other ways that people actually flirt in the real world, right?
One part of my routine that I want to continue into the new year is setting monthly cleaning dates. There's no greater feeling for me knowing that my house is clean, organized, and tidy. I do think a clean house leads to greater productivity. A way I'm taking this routine a step further is by incorporating cleaner, greener products I can be behind. That's why my house uses Blueland. Blueland is on a mission to eliminate single-use plastic by reinventing cleaning essentials. Their refillable products offer a beautiful design that looks great on your counter. Trust me, when I say beautiful, they are gorgeous. My team member started using Blueland recently and she sent me a photo and we were both gawking over how colorful the products looked. For me personally, I'm a big fan of their toilet bowl cleaner, which comes in this cute periwinkle case, and bathroom cleaner, which is this bright pink. What can I say? Your girl loves a clean bathroom. Blueland has a special offer for listeners. Right now, get 15% off your first order by going to blueland.com/ABG. You won't want to miss this. Blueland.com/ABG for 15% off. That's Blueland.com/ABG for 15% off.
I don't know about you, but it feels like a lot of my friends are now getting on that baby train. If you have a friend who is also expecting or have little ones still in diapers, I always recommend Pampers Swaddlers. With Pampers Swaddlers, you can also rest assured that this diaper will prevent up to 100% of leaks, even blowouts. Swaddlers has dual leak guard barriers at the legs to help protect where leaks happen most. And they have a blowout barrier, which is an innovative back pocket built into the diaper to help prevent those messy leaks up the back. Did you know that on average, babies will use up to 8,000 plus diapers before becoming potty trained? That is a lot. That's why Pampers Diaper Stash is the hottest baby gift for 2024. So give a gift to a loved one that says, "We see you and we've got you." Pampers Diaper Stash is an online diaper fund that all parents with little ones will love. You can organize friends and family to contribute to a group gift of an online stockpile that never has to run out. Pampers Diaper Stash is great because it takes the guesswork out of choosing what size and how many diapers to gift. It's so easy to do, and it's the gift that always fits. Okay. Well, according to the same study, Headspace and USA Today, there are 5 basic styles of flirting. So let's cover these for those of you listening out there or watching out there on the YouTubes. Let us know which one you are. Okay. And I'm curious what Mel and Janet are too. All right, first one, polite flirting, which is subdued, not the aggressive, hair flipping, lip licking kind of flirting. This type of flirting looks like leaning back, maintaining an even tone of voice, and almost appearing stiff. Usually the person being flirted with doesn't get the message.
That's me.
That's Janet.
This is why I don't have success flirting. I don't even know I'm flirting. And then I do it, and then the other person doesn't even know that.
I want to give you a pillow and see how you would flirt with someone. I actually don't know if I've ever seen Janet flirt.
You literally said that in the last episode too.
Well, I don't. Yeah. Here's the thing. Maybe because I don't know if I'm flirting. I don't know if I'm intentionally shooting my shot. I might just
Okay, well, if you see someone in the room and you're like, ooh, I kind of want to talk to this person with the interest of getting to know them, perhaps romantically or just to get to know them, right? To see if there's any spark, you would go over and probably be flirting, right?
Which the way you describe, I think I would just be just try to get to know, or do it very...
She'll try to. I think Janet's thing is conversation, but is it a very polite? I'm interested in what you have to say type of way.
Yeah. I want to show you. I want to show you that I care. And I'm interested. So it's more just getting to know them. So probably it's that description.
But when you talk to them, do you feel like you are talking to a friend, or do you add a little bit more of an element of an eye flutter or whatever? A coy smile or something like that.
Probably not. I think I would be really shy to do that until I know them. If I'm just meeting them for the first time, I probably wouldn't. It would just be talking to them.
I like we're diving into this, this dissecting this. Because when you read the thing, I was like, that's so Janet.
Yeah.
She's very polite. Yes. But my question is, okay, let's pretend you're on a date. It's a first date. You already know the intention is there's so romantic interest. How do you interact there? That's different. Do you feel are you still inquisitive about what they have to say? Are you kind of doing little things to I guess show? Or are you still very more conversation based and because I think one thing she has said to us, she's sometimes when I talk to people that I'm interested in, it comes to a business conversation.
Oh, like a networking event.
Situation. I don't know.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, I think for me, if I were to be on a first date with someone and they start talking and I want to show that I care about them, it would actually be almost maybe not a business meeting, but sometimes it's if someone goes into a deep emotional thing, then I get very sensitive and want to ask them questions, make them feel like they're being heard and that kind of a thing. So that's maybe I think one of the ways of flirting is emotional intimacy to show that you're oh, I'm open to this, right? Versus, because I think it's a popular thing they say now on a lot of first dates. It's you almost share all your traumas, and it can be a little bit that's a lot. But also, if you're someone who's going to be oh, I accept that about you, or that, I'm sorry that happened, but tell me more, instead of just oh, okay, yeah, thanks for sharing that.
That makes sense.
I see.
So that's one way I would flirt back. The other is I would do light touching. Right. So this wouldn't be just a hi, my name is Jan. It's we're having dinner or something. Then I probably will do some light touching. I'll lean in closer with body. I'm okay. I want to be in your orbit.
I want to be in your space.
In your space.
Okay. Well, this touches on maybe the second, and fourth one. Okay. Second one. Let me just continue here, but I diving into understanding Janet's method of flirting. We did post something on social media about Janet wanting to learn how to flirt, and that video.
A lot of people related.
Because,
I think a lot of people relate. How do you flirt nowadays? It's really it's so multifaceted. I don't know.
Well, the second way to flirt is playful flirting. And this is the opposite of polite flirting. It involves being fun and silly. However, these flirts run into the problem where everyone thinks they're interested when they're just social characters and can be perceived as maybe even like messing with people. Ugh. You say, but I was like, is this you?
I think that's Mel.
I say, because that is me. But there's a difference. I think you know how to, it's like, no, I'm not flirting with you. I'm just being playful.
Okay. You're thinking about the opposite where you're not flirting with someone and they assume that you are.
But part of me is, I've also been in situations where like a friend thought my other friend was flirting with them. And I was like, no, she's just a playful person. He was so convinced. And I was like, no, you don't know. And I just get kind of like protected because maybe I am that type of way that I'm like, I get very like, you don't know what flirting is, so you just think I'm being flirty with you, but I'm not. I get very defensive or protective because I'm like, that is my style though.
Well, has that ever happened before where you're like, oh, I'm actually not interested?
Not with me personally, maybe for my friends. And I felt protective of them.
Wait, actually, that story, what was she doing? That like, what type of playfulness?
I just heard by hearsay, but we're at a party on my birthday and one of our guy friends thinks like, oh yeah, your friend's like been flirting with me. I was like, she has a boyfriend.
But what was she doing?
She's just really like jokey, like pouring shots, like just playful. Like, but she's not like, oh my God. She's not like showing interest or touching him or just she'll play along in conversation, like playful banter, but not showing romantic interest though.
So the playfulness was in the conversation.
Yeah. And just how she carries herself. She's very just like just likes to have fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess for someone who doesn't know her, right? For example, if Janet were to exhibit those traits towards someone where it's like the playful, touchy, more like exuberant out there, would be like, oh, she is 100% flirting.
That's if you don't know, that's true.
But if you don't know her, then you might just be like, oh, she just...
I can see that. I think that's why there was a mistake. Because I was like, no, she's just like that.
Yeah.
And so he was like, oh. I was like, oh, but I was like, no. Like she's super like faithful too. So I'm like, she's not trying to like, that's why I was like, don't think she's flirting with you. She's like really committed to her boyfriend. They're like solid.
Yeah.
So I got very like, but I am playful.
Yeah.
So that's my style.
So my question is then, give me an example of a way that you would flirt with someone in a playful style. And you can use the hair flip because we always joke that Mel does a lot of hair flips because, but that's not.
And here's the thing. And I was thinking about this episode. I have a feeling when you guys are doing the hair flip, I actually don't flirt with my hair flip thingy. I dance with my hair flip. It's different.
Oh, that's true. You're right. Okay.
I do the laugh. Yeah. But I don't do this.
You don't do that, but you do this.
I do the.
No, you do that, but you also go.
I do that.
Yes I only have one. I do have one memory of being at a karaoke place where you kind of went to someone and it's a little bit of the hair flip, but it wasn't like, but I think maybe you were not it happened so naturally.
Like, what's your situation?
If anything, you're a ball of energy.
Yeah.
Right. And so when that happens, your hair is naturally just like,
because you're bouncing around. A little bit
it's not like you're doing this per se, but it's like.
That's pretty good though.
Yeah.
I think I'm more touchy when I'm flirting. Like I'm not, I'm not afraid to enter your space, I guess.
Yeah.
And the things I say is a little bit more,
like what? I want to know. Like, what happens in these private conversations?
It's been so long. I don't remember.
I feel like when I think about, I think Mel, you're actually really good with like if you were to text with someone, right? So I know we're talking a lot of like in-person flirting, but like if you like on dating apps, you're like connected with someone, and you're good with like the witty responses or next thing to kind of like it comes off flirtatious and jokey, and that's something I'm really bad at because I remember I would pass you my phone sometimes if people, but it's been a while, I can't think of an exact example.
I think that's like Janet's right. I think the playfulness comes in with flirting. It's because I make it kind of obvious I'm interested in you or I'm attracted to you. That's why there's a difference with like I don't ever tell my friends I'm like I'm hella into you. Or like, oh, you look really like you look like good tonight. Kind of like in that tone versus like you look good tonight. Versus like, you look good.
Yeah. There is a difference. Because I feel like every time, this is weird, but every time like our PA is like, oh, you have nice shoes. Or like, you will make those comments, but it's dependent on how you say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
And I think the playfulness also comes a little bit of competition. Like that's how I flirted in college. Like we go to bowling and then there's like a 101. And you could tell like no one else exists in the world besides me and the person I'm flirting with. Because we had this it's not a competition with the team. It's just me and him.
That's right.
And then we get kind of like, you got this? Oh, okay, really? And then we just, it's kind of like this. I don't know. I can't explain it, but it's.
You see the bounciness.
It's a feeling.
It's coming in.
Yeah.
Wait, I want to put I want to show your skills right now. So like with the texting, what if you connected with someone and let's say you're trying to make plans for dinner and they said like, do you want to meet here at 8? What would be your response as a way to show? And it can't just it become very like logistical, right? But if you're going to try to show, or actually, sorry, that's a bad example.
Oh, I could I'll give you a quick liner with that one. So they know I'm interested. I would say, they say they're confirming the time. I go, it's a date, smiley face. So they know, I say it's a date. So they know I want it to be a date. Versus like,
that's a good.
Versus like, I'll see you there. Like just one little line. So they know there's a romantic inkling versus like platonic.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
And you said smiley face. So the smiley face is critical, right?
There's no period. You don't say it's a date, period.
It's like, it's a date.
It's a date. No
Winky.
period. No punctuation. Just smiley face. Maybe the winky is a little too much.
I just do smiley face. Smiley face, it's a date. Smiley face, exclamation point.
And like the emoji or like actual just typing out like.
Sometimes with smiley face, I don't do the emoji just to make it more.
You just do the colon. And then, yeah.
There's no, but the thing is, there's no hard rule with that. It's just more like we're hella going in on the situation. I think for me, just saying it's a date, the intention is clear on both ends of what it is. So it's not, there's no, I don't know if it's just a dinner. No, I don't like any of that gray zone. I'm going to be very clear with you.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, they could clarify in the dinner. Oh, I just want it to be, then tell me. I don't care.
Okay.
No, like.
It's a good.
Yeah. I think it's been a long time since I've flirted. It's been 10 years with my husband. But I guess in between, there were some people's. But I think I'm also a playful.
I think so.
Yeah.
Maybe not as obvious as
you're more competitive though. There's a competitive spirit for you.
Yeah. With the guy?
Actually, yeah. But it's funny because like even being your friend, I don't know. I've never seen you flirt either. But there's always subtle moments and there's always like, I think you're very subtle but playful.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think
what
there's
would
like
be an example?
There's like subtle like a touch, like on the leg or on the arm or something like that. Or like a closed mouth, like sly smile.
Ooh. Wait, can we see that?
Helen,
I just thought about it. Cringe.
It's funny. Your thing, I could just tell it's a gaze.
Yes.
Oh.
So
it's a gaze.
I think
it's in her eye, like the way
she does this for like. Sorry.
Wait, I need to see
that. I think what I do is probably like we'll talk to the person and make sure that they have my full attention and showing interest. But I probably wouldn't show it like right away. It's more like when you're apart and you're looking for each other. And then you catch a gaze, like you're catching each other. That's when it locks it in for me that like, oh, he's interested. I'm interested. In this room full of people, we're looking for each other. That's the moment.
Helen's also she's just subtle in general. But it's all in Helen, it's all in the thing she doesn't say and it's the thing she does.
Ooh.
Yeah. I'm everything I say. I have to use my words.
And I just don't say anything. Is that maybe?
Damn, that's a spectrum.
I think
that's a good way to put it though. Yeah.
February is the month of love. Love for others, but I think especially love of self. One of the ways that I'm trying to love on myself more is to get in touch with my sensuality on my terms. I've never been much of a sexy underwear girl because honestly, I usually prioritize functionality and comfort. But I was pleasantly surprised to discover Honeylove. Honeylove bras feature supportive bonding so you get the look and feel of lift without the uncomfortable stiffness of underwire. Plus, their fabric is super soft. We're talking like second skin soft. For a limited time, you can get Honeylove on sale. Get 20% off your entire order with our exclusive link, honeylove.com/ABG. Support our show and check them out at honeylove.com/ABG. Usually when I see mesh material on bras and shapewear, I automatically think about how uncomfortable it's going to feel. And not gonna lie, when I saw Honeylove's crossover bra, I was like, this is gonna be one of those bras that I wanna take off immediately when I come home from a long day. But when I tried it on, I was like, oh, I could sleep in this bra. It gives all of the support of traditional bras without using any underwires. This is what I am talking about. A bra with all of the trimmings of sexiness, but with the comfort and functionality of a sports bra. They also have incredibly comfortable shapewear, tanks, and leggings for everyday support. Treat yourself to the best bras in the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/ABG. Use our exclusive link to get 20% off, honeylove.com/ABG. After you purchase, they ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. Treat yourself to Honeylove because you deserve it.
Okay, so there's 3 other ones that I'm just going to touch upon. We went in on the first 2 only because that's what we are. So third one is traditional flirting. This is where one person courts the other who takes more of a passive role. So I'm assuming this is like, for example, if you're at a Starbucks and you're just in your zone, in your own world, doing your work, and then someone keeps coming up to you and says, hey, can you watch my stuff? Hey, can you watch my stuff? And they start to like try to strike up a conversation. And each time you're just like kind of shutting them down. So I'm assuming that's traditional flirting. Fourth is physical flirting, which is when sexual desire is made evident. A lot of physical touch. Physical flirting. Meow. Okay. Fifth is sincere flirting. I think this is maybe what you were talking about too. This is one where strong emotional connections are established. And this, for me, when I first read this, I was like, I don't really understand what this category is. But I think it's when you go into a conversation without the intent of flirting, and then suddenly an emotional connection forms because you're getting really deep into conversation and like getting to know this person. And then it becomes more sincere. Like the origin of it was more sincere. So I'm assuming that's like sincere flirting. Yeah, so those are the 5. Let us know in the comments of our latest IG post or our YouTube channel which one you are. Curious.
I'll comment mine below too.
Yes.
I'm a combo actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're physical and playful.
Girl, no. I'm sensitive and playful.
Playful and emotional? Is it
emotional?
Sincere.
I'm sincere. I think on dates when I talk for 3 hours because I'm going in deep.
I definitely thought you were going to say physical.
I mean, sometimes. It's some periods of my life.
Yeah. Okay. And then Janet, you're probably polite and sincere. I'm probably
physical. Just kidding.
Playful and physical and sincere once I get to know them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing that really stuck with me was that when Janet was reading the study, that only 18% of women were able to determine if their partner was flirting with them. And so I thought it'd be really helpful to kind of go over like, here are some ways people flirt with you for those of you that may, are questioning if you're being flirted with or you want to flirt. So one sector is called verbal cues. And, one way to do it is like compliments. I actually do this a lot. Like I've been thinking about you, or I like the way you look really good tonight. I think another way that under verbal that really stands out to me is, let's say you're dating someone, they ask your relationship status, like, are you single, or I want to see you again.
Yeah,
like I think it keeps it really clear.
Yeah.
Like the whole even like when you're third grade starts, like, do you like anyone? They're asking this question because they are interested in you. So just like, hey, are you single? Are you seeing anyone? I think saying that kind of alludes to like interest. The second category is body language, which is a song, I don't know by who. This is Helen. Prolonged or lingering eye contact, physical contact, touching or tapping you, putting your hand on their thigh, and gives you your undivided attention. So those are some examples. If you want to maybe practice on a friend.
Should we have Janet practice right now?
Well,
on a pillow?
Out of all of these.
On a pillow?
Actually, really, for Janet, you already told us what kind of style you are. The ones, based on the things I listed or the things we talked about, is there a style or cue that you want to try out? To maybe...
That's true. That's
to
a good
express
point
more.
Because you are a certain style.
Yeah.
Thing is like, I want to learn how to flirt, so you don't feel like what you're currently at
You know what?
is where you want to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I want to learn how to be more playful with my flirting.
Okay.
And maybe and that's like, I need to be more playful in general.
Which I think you're trying to do with, play, the play era. We saw that.
So what's a good way to
Okay, we're doing this. Okay. If you're not watching on the YouTube, turn it on right now. Hey, Janet.
Wait, I need guidance though. What is a playful? Wait, actually, let me see how Mel would do it, and then let me try.
Okay.
To replicate. Okay.
Bruh, what?
Or should Mel be and then we see how Helen is playful.
I haven't flirted in like years.
Okay. Hey, Mel. My name is Ra.
Wait, what are we doing? Are we like?
You're flirting with the pillow.
I'm like, but what's the situation? I need the context. I can't be the. Okay. The quickest thing for me, and this is maybe actually why I think competition is a way I flirt. On my first date with Ray, we went to an arcade. And it's been something we love to do because there's a competitive energy that we both like and have. And you get like, oh my God, I'm going to score on you. No, I'm going to win. Like, okay, winner. And then we don't go easy on each other. So there's always that level of like competition and it's fun. It's playful. Maybe that's why for dates, a lot of people go to like axe throwing or bowling because there's a level of sport or like some kind of action you could kind of banter on top of.
Yeah.
Actually, Philip and I, our first date was on a run. So we went on a run and then I was all like, oh, you're so slow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was actually I'm like, okay, so if I try to do dates, maybe do more like competitive activities. But what if it's like a turn off if the guy like
but then that's something you
or
ask
did he feel insecure about that?
No.
Yeah. But that's
Okay, so that
depends on the guy. It's like, I want a playful guy
Yeah.
because I like play.
do. Yeah.
So if that's something you like, they should be able to take it. Or like you just
Whether they're able to win or lose, they should be okay. It should not be a threat to their ego, basically.
I think another way, this is just I'm thinking of random ass ideas.
Are we not doing the pillow thing?
I'm sorry.
Are we not doing
Okay,
it?
fine.
Do people want the pillow?
Give me a pillow. Let's pretend we're at dinner. This is like our second date. Go.
Okay.
Hey.
So, Mel, you look good today.
Thank you. You look pretty good yourself. Actually, for today, I was thinking for dinner, should we just kind of like change it up a bit?
And do what?
Why don't we each select a dish for each other that maybe represents their personality based on like the first few dates we've been on? Just to change it up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And
That's a good example. I see.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Just me on the
Yeah,
That's great.
That's a good
Sorry
way
if
to
that
make
was
it.
not a good pillow.
I was like, this guy sounds boring as fuck.
I had a feeling you were thinking that as I was doing this.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry I took your pillow.
Yeah.
No. I mean, okay. I am taking notes on that because it's like even if the activity is not playful, like it's dinner, right? You can make it playful by creating a small game or discussion.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
You gotta make it like it's kind of like how do you make things not so serious all the time? Because you already know. For me, it's like you're already gonna have the serious talks to see where you guys are emotionally. That's gonna be a given. So let's add play back into it because you guys want to have fun still. That's how I think of it.
Hey there, ABG fam. As many of you parents out there know, typical kids' vitamins are basically sugar traps, right? They're like candy in disguise, packed with unhealthy chemicals and gummy junk our growing kids shouldn't be anywhere near. But here's the game changer. Haya is a pediatrician-approved chewable vitamin with zero sugar, yet amazing taste. These vitamins fill in those common gaps in modern children's diets, providing the full body nourishment our kids need. And get this, formulated with the expertise of nutritional wizards, Haya is packed with 12 organic fruits and veggies, then supercharged with 15 essential vitamins and minerals. Vitamin D, B12, C, zinc, folate, and a bunch more, all in a tasty, non-GMO, vegan, allergy-free chewable. Plus, my 2-year-old loves it. Decorating the bottle with the stickers that come with the first order was such a fun family activity. Now, here's the exciting part for all of you parents out there. We've teamed up with Haya for their best-selling children's vitamin. Receive 50% off your first order. To claim this deal, you must go to hayahealth.com/ABG. This deal is not available on their regular website. Go to HIYAHEALTH.com/ABG and get your kids the full body nourishment they need to grow into healthy adults.
Okay, so I thought it'd be really fun for us to kind of like have story time and share our best example of flirting and worst example.
Okay. Best example and worst example.
Yes, and it could be
You start with
receiving or giving.
Oh, okay. I'll start with a best that I have in mind. This was, I've never also brought the story up before. I don't have that many examples, I guess, of like interactions with men. Anyway, okay. So this one, someone from college had hit me up on Facebook Messenger. And this is like a random, like this person was just barely an acquaintance. We were probably friends because we had like a school project together and you like had to add each other as friends on Facebook. Anyway, I was in Santa Monica and this person just messages me and he's like, oh, hey, are you in Santa Monica? I'm like, yes, I am. He's like, oh, I'm traveling. I'm going to be here. Like, do you want to meet up for like a drink or something? And I could not tell what the intention was at all. Because I was like, oh, maybe he just needs a friend in this area to like show him around. I was like, sure, why not? We went to this place called Water Grill and we had oysters and wine.
Oh,
and it was like,
sexy.
I still couldn't tell if he was into me because we were just reminiscing about college.
Okay.
Right? And talking about the people we knew and all of that. And then afterwards, that was just like an appetizer. So we were like, oh, let's get dinner. We're hungry. So this is the moment where I was like, oh, this was a good flirting moment. And so we were crossing the street and he just took my hand and he just held my hand.
Oh, he just grabbed it?
It was
That
just-
is, yeah.
And
That
it was
is-
during a moment where like there were a lot of cars and he was like trying to make me feel safe.
Yeah.
So he just, of course I can cross the street by myself. But like he held my hand and I was like, oh, I'm glad the intentions and what this is like super clear.
Yeah.
Because otherwise I'd just be like, oh, are we just like hanging out? And, and then from then on, there was like romantic interest. And I was like, wow, and obviously you have to be into the person first in order for this method to work in terms of flirting. Otherwise, I'd be like, oh, don't touch my hand. I can cross the street by myself. But it was a direct movement. And I feel like that was like a good flirting experience.
Wait.
Yeah, that is
This or this?
I think it was this. Yes,
okay.
this would be a little too much for
intimate.
the first
That's true.
handhold.
Because if you tried it and he did this, that's kind of weird, you know? Like, you missed the fingers. Yeah.
Oh, pinky.
That's very cute.
That is very cute.
I kind of forgot about this story.
Yeah.
So my best story, I actually was texting our group chat after it happened. So I was proud of myself for this one, but also not. Okay. I went to an auto shop and that Phil recommended to me in K-Town. So I went to an auto shop and I thought the guy who worked there was like really cute. And it was, we were interacting and like, I don't know how we just started joking around. And I was like, man, this is like the best banter I've ever had in a long time. And we just kept going, like, just riffing off like, oh, like, so you live in LA? Like, just to start talking. And I was like, this is so much fun that by the time my car was done being serviced, I asked him like, can I have your number? Like, I think this is really fun to talk to.
Wow.
And
what was he wearing? I don't know why. I just need a visual.
Like what they wear at the auto shop, and his name was right here.
Okay,
like very, uniform.
Uniform.
But I think I was just most attracted to our interaction. And I was like, wow, this is great. And then I was so proud of myself for asking for his number. And I texted him afterwards and I was like, hey. And then he responded back. And then later on that night, he texted me saying, hey, Mel, I don't want to like assume anything, but I just want to let you know that I do have a girlfriend. And I was like, oh. And he was like, but I don't know if this changes anything. I think you're great and it'd be great to be a friend or something. And I was like, and I said to him, I was like, hey, I really appreciate your honesty. To be honest, like I probably wouldn't pursue a friendship with you because I maybe was hoping for something else. But again, thank you so much for transparency. And yeah, we're cool. And so,
why would he give
Very
you
well
his
handled.
number? Is it more for like the auto stuff?
Oh, could be.
No, I already have the auto shop number.
I'm surprised he would.
I think maybe he was like, oh, I get along with her really well as a friend. Like we banter well. So maybe that's why he was like, before I pursue it further as a friend, I want to make sure she knows that I have a girl, that I have a girlfriend.
Yeah.
And
I appreciate him for doing that. Obviously.
Me too.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of like, I'll be honest with you. I'm not looking for a friendship with you.
Yeah.
So I'm
That's
good.
Cool.
So I was like,
So have you been back to the auto shop since?
he doesn't work there anymore. I still go to the same auto shop.
Oh.
It's a great auto shop in K-Town, but I'm not going to spill it right now. But anyways.
Do you guys follow each other on like
No.
Instagram or anything?
It literally was a one-day interaction. Like once I got his number and he said he was taken, I was done. But in the polite way though.
Yeah. Wow. Go Mel. So forward.
I think I learned like since I was like I've been forward since preschool. I have been. I'm not afraid of being forward because I rather because for me it's like yes I'm afraid of rejection sometimes, but I think being forward you can't then I have no reason to blame like if they're reading between the lines or there's no clarity. There's always going to be clarity when you're talking with me because I don't want you to blame me for something I didn't say.
Yeah.
So
good.
Yeah.
Good. Go Mel. And that's how she bagged Ray.
Yeah.
Actually, the first time you met him, you were not forward at all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I messaged him right after though.
But you
That's true,
actually you took
You opened
initiative
up,
I did.
afterwards. Yeah.
Girl, I was taking
Yeah.
initiative.
You were so shy. It was kind of cute.
I know because I was like, he's surrounded by all these women with the F. Anyways, that's my story. How about you, Jay?
Honestly, it's been so long. I just like, I don't really have.
Oh man.
I don't have a good memory.
She needs some good experiences out there.
Yes. It's okay. This episode is a jump start for that.
Yeah. Hoping to create some new ones in 2024.
Do you have like a worst experience?
She probably does.
I have I'm experiences of dates, but like flirting specifically, not really.
Mel has one for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if this is like, ooh, it's putting it on blast though. Okay, I'll tell a story. I think this is flirting. So one time, obviously, me on the podcast, you get to see how and hear how attractive Janet is. We do give love calls sometimes. So we got an email once from a interested listener, and I will give you props for shooting your shot. But for me, just as a girlfriend, when I read the email, I was like, man, he's presenting himself like he's going for a job interview. And this is not romantic at all. Like in the email, And I get it. Maybe it's, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts too. I think you put down like references of friends you can call to gauge that he's a good person, and like photos, and like it just felt like very formal and didn't feel romantic. I think that's the thing. I feel like it wasn't romantic, and maybe this is the best way to shoot your shot. That's why I'm like, I give you credit for shooting your shot, but I think I would want a little bit more finesse. Like DM me and try to woo me that way, and have a creative, fun message.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I mean, I think he was just trying really hard, like really like Janet. So I was like,
which I appreciate.
Yeah. We probably just wouldn't have gone about it that way. It felt more like an interview, like he's applying for a job versus applying for your love.
Yes.
Yeah.
So slip into the DMs if you're interested.
Yeah.
No resume needed yet.
And no references.
Yeah.
It's okay.
How about for you? What's like a worst experience or a bad experience of flirting?
Okay, my first experience I'll say is I just moved to LA and we were at Club Metro.
Oh yeah.
I know, the spot. And I was still like, in the period of trying to make new friends, and a mutual friend of ours was like, oh my gosh, Mel, you need to meet this person. And I was like, didn't want to say no, but I was like, okay, sure. And obviously they're introducing us because he wanted some romantic thing to happen. And when I met his friend was flirting with me, and he asked me this question. I was like, oh, I don't know if that's like flirty. He was like, yeah, so if you could like choose an animal, like what animal would you be? And I was like, I guess people say I resemble a chipmunk. And then after that, I didn't know what to say. And I was like, yeah, this is like falling really flat for me.
Yeah.
And after that, nothing happened.
Yeah, that's
a weird line.
If there was follow-up to that and it was like fun conversation,
like,
that could be
was it out of nowhere?
At a club? At a club. Not like, oh, is this your kind of music? Is this your vibe? No, it's like, what kind of animal would you be?
Yeah, that'd be, place and time for those questions. Place and time. Okay, I'll share my worst one that I can think of. So me and this other guy, we had clearly already liked each other. He was never my boyfriend. Like this was high school, and we were like we've gone as far as making out. So clearly liked each other. I was over at his place one night and we were like cuddling, watching a movie. And then we were going somewhere up or downstairs. I don't remember where we were going, but up or downstairs. And as we were like walking on these flights of stairs, he was like, me and my ex did it all over these stairs.
What the? Yeah, that's a bad.
I was like, what the fuck?
Why would you tell me that?
Do you want me to I was speechless. I didn't say anything. I was like,
yeah.
Cool. Also, but why would you say that? I feel like probably from his end, he's like trying to see if I'm, as like
down.
Raunchy or down, and like to maybe show the side of him that I hadn't seen before. And I was like, oh, okay. But I couldn't tell. I was like, are you trying to flirt with me? Or are you trying? It was just weird.
Yeah. That's confusing. Well, first I would just be like, that's going to turn her off emotionally. But I can see if you're saying he was trying to say like, oh, I'm like raunchy if he thinks
I think that's what he was trying to get at. But at the end of the day, I was just like, I did not need that visual. And now it's like uncomfortable for me. So
yeah.
That's really bad.
Yeah. I mean, there's a part of me that like, oh, that's hot. But like,
well, you shouldn't have said that.
But like, it didn't paint a good visual in my head. So
that's because he was younger.
I know it was also high school, so he's probably
what a
like
freak.
He's like all over these stairs. I'm like, okay, good.
Also, part of me is like, that's not comfortable.
I was like envisioning how. Anyway. All right, so to close up this episode, Janet, since you started off the episode saying like you want to learn how to flirt, now that we've talked about flirting, the different styles, how we flirt, except how not to flirt, don't talk about stairs. Anyway, what are some things that you've picked up from this episode that you're like, okay, I'm going to try and incorporate this into my future flirting experiences?
I think to use like small like physical touch a little bit more, and to be more playful. So, and that it doesn't like try to set up the tone for playfulness, but even if the activity isn't playful, like you can make the conversation playful. Like ask some fun questions and keep it more light. I think I do have a tendency to go like really serious and deep quickly, and I'd rather like what are some two opening questions that you would ask? What kind of animal would you be?
Not that
good. I like the, like, if you're getting like a coffee, or like say if it was a meal or a coffee and ask them like which one they're getting and like, wait, why is that? No, that's like serious.
I think when you're like, maybe like, it's like a second, third date, it's like, oh, which, choose items for each other. It's like based on their personality, based on what you know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
Damn, that's a good question. I was like, what are some ways?
Oh, you know what I asked on dates? My first date question was when I, like, because obviously you order like an appetizer and a drink. Sometimes when I order French fries a lot, I'm like, what's your favorite dipping sauce? I always ask. And I go,
but then how does it, to make that fun? Like,
I think it's just a fun question. Like, it's light. It's not heavy. And I think on that day I was like, I love French. And he was like, cool. But it's just gonna play. And then you go like, oh, why do you like ranch so much? You're like, oh, actually, because when I was a little kid. And then if it's like a fun story versus like when I was a little kid, ranch. It's a fun topic.
Yeah.
I would probably say upfront, like, oh, like, where do you normally go for like date spots? Is that weird?
He goes, oh, here.
Yeah. Or like, I don't know, because then that would paint that this is a date and like just curious about like other, I don't know. Or is that too like digging into past experiences too fast? Oh, I'm definitely out of my game.
Actually, I would love to
be.
Yeah.
Actually, ask the audience, what is a good starter question that's fun and playful?
Like if anyone has, fun starter question, that would be great. And I'm going to be referencing the comments because I need some backups.
Yeah, let us know.
Actually, I'm curious.
Yeah.
Is my sauce question not very great? Oops. But I hope everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was actually really fun for us to kind of like think about like our early memories of flirting, because I was like, wow, some of us started young. Again, I just want a quick reminder for everyone, like flirting should be fun and playful. So don't take it too seriously. Like I know we're all here trying to gauge if the other person likes us or not, but add a little bit of play so you can enjoy this experience as well. And with that, we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye.